Oh, what is up? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Look at all the chat. Oh God. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Look at all the chat. Oh God. My computer is echoing. There, I think I fixed it. Anyway, I almost forgot about this. I got home from work. I made some chicken and some veggies, and I was sitting here. I'm working on a Shopify store. So right now the Shopify store is just going to sell like ebooks, merch, stuff like that. It's going to have affiliate links for bikes and all that stuff. And eventually in the next year or so, hopefully, I'll be able to start sell bikes, sell product, all that stuff on my own e-commerce store. So that's what I'm working on. It's God, it's really overwhelming. It takes a lot of, oh my God, look at my hair. It takes a lot of time to do that. And I was just working on that and I was like, oh my God, I think I was supposed to go live. And so I checked, I was like, oh. So anyway, 19 minutes late, it's all good. But I'm going to try and keep this one kind of short. I mean, we'll see how it goes. If you guys have a lot of questions and if there's a lot of stuff going on, then I will stick around. But if I don't feel like you guys are getting any value out of this live, I am not going to I'm not going to go as long just because I have a lot of things that I'm trying to work on, like I mentioned, like I'm still eating. Anyway, how was everyone's Christmas? Rado, did you have Christmas or what? Rado is in a different country. I'm not sure where he's at. All right. Anyway, so put in your questions. I'm going to read the chat, what I missed up on, and see if there's any questions in there. But put your questions below. Also, tell me how your Christmas was. Tell me what color the lights should be. I don't know. I'm going to pick that color, but you guys let me know and I will change it. Okay. All right. Let's start reading. All right. Rado. Oh, Rado's never on the lives. It's okay, Rado. You have a time difference. I get it. Asher, what's up, Asher? How is the Sunday bike? Asher got a Sunday Soundwave, one of those really expensive bikes. I check out some of his videos sometimes. He's definitely progressing a lot. And Loathe has to eat dinner now. Go grab your dinner, eat it with me. It's a lot of fun. That's what I'm doing. I need water, but anyway. Okay, Rado, your question did not show up here. Does geometry matter? Like, I ride street and I bought a park geometry. Will it be the same? About geometry is how packed the frame is, how responsive it is, and the different angles. So generally a park geometry is going to be a steep head tube, a small standover, a short chainstay, and that's really about it. I mean, a little bit shorter of a top tube, but not too much. And a street geometry, the biggest difference there is a taller standover, like a 9-inch standover, something like that, because you want to be able to pinch it when you do hot bars, and it just gives you more stability. You'll also find a little higher bottom brackets on a street geometry so that it doesn't get in the way when you grind kink rails and things like that. But for the most part, the better question is like where geometry really varies is when you're looking at technical riding versus like flowy type riding. So if you get a technical street frame and a technical park frame, the head tube angle is still going to be steep for quick, responsive front end, good nose manuals, things like that. If you get a responsive or a tech street frame, a tech park frame, the back end's still going to be short. So there's a lot of similarities there, but then there are some differences. For the most part, like I said, the biggest difference is going to be that standover height. You just have to look at that geometry, Rado. But honestly, guys, generally, the geometry doesn't matter that much until you start to ride at like a high level. Now, once you start to ride at a higher level, you're gonna notice a difference when you're trying certain tricks, and that's when geometry is really gonna play a big role. But for the most part, right when you're learning, it's more important to get on the bike, try some tricks, and just get comfortable on it. Get some general bike control, things like that. That's the best thing you can do. Okay, Isaac, what's up? All right, Asher says I ride street and have a dirt frame. It could be more twitchy, but it's pretty good. Yeah, so like I said, Asher has the sound wave, and the difference there, like he mentioned, is it could be more twitchy, and that's because the Gary Young style of riding is a lot more flowy. So he goes really fast, really high. It's more flow type stuff. Where you look at, like, I think Felix Prattenberg, is that his name? The We the People guy. So he's a really technical rider. So he's going to have a lot more of a snappy and responsive signature frame, if that makes any sense. So the Burger King, I only got the Burger King that one time. Like I normally always eat stuff like this, but once a week I try and like get fast food or eat out or something. And so Burger King was the choice. It wasn't I just got like bacon cheeseburgers. It wasn't that good. It was kind of sad, honestly. Asher said I'm probably at Burger King. Isaac, yeah. So, oh look, I'm watching my own live here. That's what's going on. Oh my God. Yes, I have tips for bunny hopping higher. I made a video. I don't know if you watched the video. Now, this isn't the best quality video about bunny hops, but I was like, I'm gonna make a million how-tos. So I started with bunny hop, and then I have a bunch we're working on for a different project, but I can't tell you about it. So anyway, this one's just how to hop higher, but I'm gonna post it. You can check it out if you've already seen it. And then I'll run through the tips that I gave you. The biggest thing is when you want to hop really high, the higher you get your front end is going to be the higher you hop, if that makes any sense. So like, let's say this is my bike. Okay. Now when I pop the front end up and it only gets this high. Okay. Then that means when I level out, that's as high as my bike can get. Now, if I get my front end this high, when I level out, that's how high my bike gets. Does that make sense? That should make a lot of sense and kind of clear it up for you. That's the how to hop video. I just posted it in there, but it kind of talks a little bit about that. There's a really good tip that I heard from a guy, and he said, when you go to lift up your back wheel, so practice, popping your front wheel up. Now, it's really important when you do that, don't pull your arms up into your chest. It's like you're popping your chest straight up, and when you do that, your arms extend, and it brings the front wheel up with you. So you're not pulling your arms up, you're popping your chest up, and the bike follows. But the other thing, to get that back end up, you're kind of scooping your feet. So your feet are like this on the pedals, right? You're dropping them down like this so that the pedal's right here, and it can kind of push against it and have that pressure to scoop the back end up. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you've already watched the hop video, but there's a lot of good tips in there, okay? Dan the Man says, Doug, what's up, Dan? Glad you're here. Marvin, what's up, Marvin? Asher, you're always here. I'm going to give you a little moderator thing. So the guys with the blue next to their name are guys that are always hanging out in the lives, always watching the premieres with me. And so I give them the blue thing. I hope they can't like steal my bank account information or something. I don't know, but it's kind of fun, so you can see in the comments who's really, really cool, always hanging out with me, and who's kind of new. So anyway, and Loathe, I've seen you a couple times. What's up? Asher says, what tires do you like? The best tires, Asher. We always get on the topic of tires a lot. So I'm going to give you two options, because the ones I ride are the Demolition Momentum. Right now I have a Hammerhead on, a Demolition Hammerhead. It's not that great, but I always ride Momentums because, one, they're really, really light. Two, they grip okay, and they're smooth. So you'll notice if you guys switch from either really knobby tires or really smooth tires to the opposite, the amount of like rolling resistance, they call it, is a game changer. So when I switched from these Momentums, here I'll post it in the comment. This is what I ride. When I switched from them to a Hammerhead, which is a really knobby tire, I had to pedal maybe one full pedal to half a pedal more to get the speed that I was used to. And that's because with all the knobbiness on the tire, it creates a lot of friction and it doesn't roll as smooth. So if you ride dirt, you obviously want a more knobby tire. Street, you can get away with real slick stuff. But that's where that matters. So the Momentums are definitely my favorite because they're pretty good for park, pretty good for street, and they're okay for dirt. They're not the best. But my other favorites are definitely the BSD Donna Squeak tires. I will send those over too. I really love BSD, like everything about great company. They put a lot of work and quality into their parts, and I think they're Scottish, so that's kind of cool. Those are the Donna Squeak tires. I just posted them in there. Okay, so check out those two, see what you like. Enload got some new clothes for Christmas. That's pretty good. I went and rode my bike on Christmas, so that was fun. Marvin, happy holidays. What's up, Marvin? Happy holidays to you too. Thanks for hanging out. Aiden is on time for once. Aiden was shouted out in the video I posted earlier today. I filmed that video like a month ago, but Aiden's always hanging out. I love it. So, Asher can do a hop 180 now. Did you post it on your YouTube, Asher? I'm going to go look right now. See if I can find it just by searching it. I don't know. I see Lebanon Bike Park. Lebanon. All right, I'm going to watch it. Yo. You got all those pegs on? Your bike looks sick, man. Bike looks sick. All right. Good job, Asher. Let's see. You made cookies on Christmas with your brother and gave them to our whole street. Dang. I wish I lived on your street. My friend Barrick, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, he's the guy I always ride with. His mom baked like banana bread, fudge, cookie. Oh, man, I should go get like pretzels. So much stuff. He came over with a huge bag full, and I was like, dude, you're awesome. So you definitely made some people's day with those cookies. Aiden says, why is there 10 viewers but only 8 likes? That is a good question. We better fix that right now. There's one person on every video I post. Every video, one person dislikes it. So in my intros, I'm going to start saying that you guys have to counteract that by liking it like crazy. So, but not yet, not yet. Okay. Oh, it moved. All right. Aiden's wondering where Lucas is. Lucas is going to come in late and say, hey, I'm late. That's going to be sad. Corvette Garage, what's up? I remember a while ago you were here asking me about something with bikes. I can't remember what it was, but glad you're still hanging out, checking out the videos. That is awesome. Asher bought the R15 forks today. So earlier, Asher talked about the responsiveness of the bike. And this is something that like not a lot of people talk about. But, you know, Odyssey has R32s, R25s, and R15s. And it used to be where 25s were the steepest you could get. Like it didn't get much steeper than that. And the smaller the number on your fork offset, the more responsive and the more snappy it's going to feel. So going from 25s or even 32s, I don't remember what's on the Soundwave, but down to a 15 is going to feel crazy. Like you're going to pop up for nose manual super easy and steering's quick. So that's cool. You're going to have to send me pictures. That is sick. Isaac says you can only hop 2.5 feet. That's not too bad. Isaac, another thing, I know we talked about the bunny hops, but in one of my ebooks I wrote, I made it a point to where when you're just starting out, I walk you through how to build like a little bunny hop thing that you can use, put the stick and mark it at different heights to hop over it. because the way I always looked at BMX was like, yeah, it was a way to get out and ride and like stay in shape and stuff like that. But if you look at athletes who are really good at something, they train, right? Like they consciously put in effort to learn different things and and consciously work on it. So for me, the best thing you guys can do is bunny hop, because you bunny hop when you ride skate parks, you bunny hop when you ride dirt, you bunny hop when you ride street. Like it's really, really important to just be really comfortable popping up in the air, on ledges, over gaps, whatever it may be. So in the ebook, I talk about building this little bunny hop thing and like working it into your schedule to where either every day or a couple times a week, you're constantly hopping over that and trying to push yourself and trying to work harder so you can hop higher, because that's the number one thing that's going to help you out later on as you start progressing, as you start riding more, is how high you can hop. So Isaac, it's super cool that you're already looking into that and trying to figure out how to hop higher. It's going to take you a long way, I promise. Aiden says, I got these super huge heavy tires. Now I can barely bunny hop. Yeah, Aiden, you should have got the Momentums. They're like, I don't know, 20 ounces or 16 ounces, something crazy. They're really light. Asher has Colt Vans tires. How do you like those? I heard they're really, really good on street, but in some slippery skate parks, they wash out. So be careful. But on street, they're killer. They're definitely killer. So Aiden says, I have some Shadow Conspiracy grips, but they are shredded. I was thinking about getting ODIs. ODIs, Aiden, are definitely the most popular like grip brand. However, I don't know. They used to be a really popular thing when I was riding and starting out, and they still are. And I think it's more because there's some kind of like hype around it for new riders. Like new riders just really want ODIs, and they're not the best. They're pretty good. They're kind of comfy. They're a little bit stiff. They're a little bit short. You can S&M Hoder grips, and no one's paying me to say this. So like, if you ride whatever you want, but I've ridden lots and lots and lots and lots of grips, and so far they're the most comfortable. But then they last pretty good. But man, they're so comfortable. I'm gonna put them in here in the chat. That's what I ride. So Isaac rides the Brock Rayfords, and the Rayfords are actually very similar to the ODIs. They're a little bit longer, but they're kind of the same thickness and same comfortability. I was riding the Rayfords for a while too, just because I really like the white and black colorway. Marvin rocked Gypsy grips and Colt Vans tires. I have no idea what Gypsy grips are. What do you guys think about? So on like one of my TikToks, I had these Ethic grips. Check these out. They're scooter grips, but they're super thick and they were really comfortable. They didn't last very long, but they were really thick and really comfortable. I'm going to send it in there. You guys go check them out and tell me what you think. Like, scooter riders might make fun of you for riding them, but if they're comfortable, who cares, right? Okay. Had an epic. Oh man, we moved down again. Okay. Corvette Garage, 44 years old, got back into BMX after 20 years, built a We the People network frame, almost died just pulling up the bars to hop up a curb. That's crazy. I have a really good friend in Arizona who's, God, I think he's about to be 50. I just hung out with him last time I was over there, and he runs a stunt show and stuff like that. But for those watching those older guys ride, like it hypes me up so much, because I'm like, dang, I hope I could still be riding in 20 years. Like that's my ultimate goal, is to be able to get on the bike. Or like you look at Matt Hoffman, right? Still riding that half pipe. And even if you're not where you used to be, you can still progress and still work up to it. So it's super cool to see older guys getting back on, even if you almost died pulling up the bars. No, that's awesome. Welcome to the sport. Keep riding. Aiden says, message retracted. Hi, it retracted my message. I meant to say hi. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I could put There's an option here to put Aiden in timeout or hide Aiden so we never see his comments. I won't do that, Aiden. You're pretty cool. Yeah, what grips? So we talked about that. Asher's almost at 30 subs. Go give Asher some more subs. Speaking of subs, we are like 40 people away from 3K. It was my goal to get up to 3K by the end of the year. And you guys did it. Like, you guys liking my stuff, sharing my stuff, just hanging out with me in the lives. Like, couldn't do it without you. Really appreciate it. We have our goal up here, 10,000 subs by September next year. So we have a few more months to go. Like, we have almost a whole year, but at that rate, I think we can definitely get there. I'm super excited. YouTube's weird because I used to think it was like not very good. I thought Instagram TV was going to take over, and then it didn't. YouTube is still a thing, and it's good. Like, I love watching you guys too. Like Aiden and Asher, they're trying to grow their YouTube too, and they're actually doing it. They're doing a really good job, because the biggest thing is just post content, right? Because people are going to come across it. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. That's just how it goes. That's just what happens. But you guys, if you just keep posting stuff, keep working on it, then you can start to figure out what people are searching for and make your content around that. So I could go in a big rant. I'm not gonna. Good job, Asher. Good job, Aiden. Guys, keep killing it. So Asher said the Soundwave had 25 millimeter offset forks. So yeah, going to 15 is going to feel really responsive. You'll have to let me know how that goes, like in the next live after you get it. Let me know. Aiden got a BMX helmet for Christmas. That's something I think. I used to never wear a helmet. I got a concussion. I threw up. I said, dang, that's crazy. Wore a helmet. Quit wearing a helmet. Crashed. Wore a half shell. Crashed again. Cut my chin open. Broke 2 teeth. Cut my eye open. And started wearing a full face. And then that got stolen out of my car or something crazy. So then I just started wearing not a helmet for a while. And then now I'm back to, like, I always wear my helmet. It's been that way for the last couple of years. It's a lot about a habit. Like, if you guys have it and it's just part of your gear before you go ride, it's a lot easier to do. But I do think it's important. I don't know. In the same sense, though, you guys, like, your comfortability on a bike. You know how in control you are. And when you're trying something new, like, that's definitely a good thing to have it on, because you don't know what's going to happen. But in the same sense, like, things happen that you are comfortable with, and you never know when something goes wrong. Like, I crashed because I landed and my frame just snapped in half, went face first in the ground. And, like, that's something you can never plan for. So stuff happens, and it's, once you guys start paying your own hospital bills, you'll be like, wow, it's so, especially in the US, it's so expensive. So I support that, Aiden. Good job. Wear your helmet. Aiden got an Allen key tool, a cool sweater, and a beanie, and some shoes. That's cool. It must be cold where you're at. Sounds like you guys had a good Christmas. I am super excited for you guys. Corvette Garage says Primo Cali grips. I'm gonna check those out. I know of Primo, but I've never really, like, looked into their parts very much. I always, like, just ride Profile and Colony. So, oh yeah, these look a lot like ODIs, but they look a little more comfortable. Wow, those are nice. Good call. Good call. I'm gonna post these in the chat too. You guys can check them out. But that's definitely that's a good call. Good job. This is so cool. Like, everyone, helping each other out, answering each other's questions. This is what it's all about. And Lowe's says, Aiden, what's up with the thumbnail on the Christmas edit? I have to check it out. I'm curious. Aiden Hemming's YouTube Christmas edit. All right, Aiden. Aiden, I don't sub. Aiden has 100 subscribers. Good job, man. All right, I just subscribed to Aiden. He has a How to 180. He has some bike edits. Looks like I'm excited to go watch the Christmas edit. It's 3 minutes long, so I'll do it sometime after this live. I won't do it right now, but good job. We'll check that out later. If you guys are bored with me, go watch Aiden's Christmas edit, I guess, and then come back and tell me what you think. But you're going to miss out. So we're almost at 30 minutes, but this is going pretty good. So I'm so far behind you guys. This is crazy. James, whatever happened to the Sunday Funday? You mean like the bike, James? My friend has a shirt, a Sunday shirt that says Sunday Funday, and he wears it every single Sunday for the last like 5 years that I've known him. He's always so that's a good idea, guys. Buy a Sunday shirt, wear it every Sunday. Sunday used to be really good about that. Like all their bikes were just crazy colors. They were really cool looking, and now they're just kind of becoming more basic. Even, I mean, Aaron Ross's signature this year had like that Mexican blanket seat, and it was all pink and stuff. But it's not as crazy. Like, you guys remember the orange soda? Have you guys seen those grape soda? Those were sick. James is 38 and still riding. That's awesome. Man, 14 more years and I will be where you're at. I will still be riding. It'll be like Aiden or Asher. They'll have a live. I'll be 38. I'll be tuning into it. I'll be like, hey, remember? Wouldn't that be funny? That's crazy to think about. Thumbs up? Question mark? I don't know what you're talking about. Isaac Pike left to go eat. If he's not eating Burger King, he's going to get put in timeout. So we'll see what he's eat. If he comes back, ask him what he ate. Challenger says, how do you bunny hop higher? Dude, you got to just take my advice from that little video, and then we will help you out. But no, the biggest thing, like I said, is get that front tire as high as you want to hop, because so you're going to compress your body, and then you're going to pop your chest up, keep your arms like straight. That's what picks up the wheel. But it's just like standing on the ground and hopping straight up. It's a really weird thing, because when you do that, your arms extend out, pull up the front wheel, then your back wheel starts to come, and then you suck your knees up. But you just have to work on that explosive power. There's a big correlation. I'm writing a book on it right now of how like weight training correlates with riding bikes, because I'm sure you guys might have seen it. I've seen it so many different times. Like, I have a friend who's having a hard time progressing. He's kind of learning tricks, but not really. And then he starts to go to the gym. And like within a year, within 6 months, he's got like 360 tail whips, 360. And it just all happened so fast because he was working out his body in different ways where the muscles could really help out to throw the bike around. You got to think about it like our bikes are 20 plus pounds, right? So that's not very much, but in the same sense it is, because you need to like move that bike around. Your body's working all different. So there's a huge correlation with how strong you are. And yeah, crazy. So work on that, work out, and just practice. Like bunny hop 20 times a day, every single day, practice. But you need to be hopping up or over something, because if you're not working on that, you're going to get like stuck and you're not really going to be progressing. So keep that in mind. Aiden, look, Enload gave Aiden a sub. That's sick. Aiden says, don't put me in time out. Aiden's at 99. You're over 100 now, Aiden. Good job. Let's see. Challenger, how do you bunny hop higher? I know we talked about that. Asher subbed. Marvin subbed. Good deal. We got you to 100, Aiden. You're welcome. Good job. Everyone tell Aiden good job in the comments. Good job. 100. Yo, what's really cool with this Mac? I can type emojis. Like, you guys don't care. Probably this isn't BMX related, but I'm going to do it just because. Put in this emoji. All right, cool. Good job, Aiden. Stoked for you, man. Billy Perry wishes he was me. Oh my God. All right, Corvette Garage for the older guys that rode a 16-inch chainstay back in the day. Dude, I was looking, so We the People, right? They did a comparison with one of their first frames versus their new Battleship frame. And I was looking at that first frame it said like 16-inch chainstay. And I was like, how? The fact that people back then could ride, 40, 50-pound bikes with huge geometries and still like double whip it absolutely blows my mind. So that's funny because the longest chainstay I rode was like around 13. I could not imagine a 16-inch. Mason Willis says how to crank flip. So I'm actually working on a how-to video for it for bike school, which is a different thing I'm working on. But hold on. I'm going to send BMX school, which was like my initial concept. It was going to be a whole bunch of how-to videos for you guys to help you progress from like a beginner rider, learn all these basic tricks to become a mid or high-level rider. Did you guys pick a light color? They're flashing at me. Anyway, so there will be a how to crank flip video in here, but I'm going to post this. All you have to do is just go click one of the learn more buttons. A pop-up will come up and put in your info, because when we launch bike school, I'll reach out to you and you'll be able to get all those videos and everything like that. But I'll kind of run through it real quick in the video. I recommend doing it on flat ground. This is bugging me. Hold on. Look. All right, here we go. There. Cool. Okay, sorry. Anyway, flat ground, okay? And your front foot, so hold on. I'll be right back. All right, this is your shoe, okay? This is your crank flipping shoe. And this is your pedal, okay? Normally, you ride with your foot like right here, okay? This is where you ride normally, comfortable riding on your pedal. When you go to crank flip, move your foot up just a little bit. And what this does is it gives you enough so that you can scoop like this. So if it's up here, you're going to have a hard time scooping it. If it's up here, this is your front foot, okay? If it's up here, you can scoop it a lot easier. And so what that does is that turns the pedal like this, okay? And the flick is just moving this foot up, okay? So the pedal's stuck to your foot, you put your toe down, and you flick. And that essentially sends the cranks flipping back. Normally you ride like this, okay? I recommend backpedaling just a little bit so that your front foot's actually a little bit higher than your back foot, okay? Because then when you scoop, it's already started, so you'll have a lot easier time. But I guarantee if you guys went out right now and just took that little bit of advice where you move your foot forward on the pedal and dropped it back to scoop it up, you'll be like, wow, so easy. So do that, get really comfortable doing it on flat ground, and then you're gonna work it into the hop. And the way to do that is just explode up with that bunny hop. You don't want to level your legs out before you flick. So you're going to flick on the way up when your legs are still out. Flick the crank flip, catch it just like you do on flat ground. That's going to help you out a lot. I guarantee it. It says, hold my macaroni. I'm at 101. What's up, Dallas? Welcome back to the live. Thank you for hanging out. Valentine. Yes, I was at regionals. Yesterday. I went to regionals yesterday. My thing is like, I love to go to the skate park on Christmas. This is the second year I've done it. And I went, and then I was like, I just love to go because there's a lot of brand new riders on their brand new bikes that they got for Christmas. They've never been to the skate park, and they're just trying to figure out BMX. So I like to go there and kind of hang out with them and like inspire them in a way. And just, it's really happy for me to see because I love the sport, and it's cool to see people get into it and like watch the sport grow. So that's what I like to do. And so, yeah, I went to regionals to do that yesterday. But there's so many people just standing in the bottom of the bowl that I got mad and left, because if you're at the park, that's cool. Like, take a run, ride around. But when you just stand in the way, you there's a flow to it, right? Like, if I want to hit this, I need to be able to go here, here, and here. And you know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, I go to regionals a lot, and yesterday was a bad idea. So Aiden says, "Oh my God, Dougster Bob that's cool that it highlights my name." Yeah, we followed Asher and we subbed to Aiden, got them both. Lucas is missing out. Yeah, I see your chat. I'm just way behind, Valentine. Oh God, look. Oh, there's so many chats right now. Oh God, hold on. Dallas, what did Dallas say? Yeah. Oh, okay, got it. Never mind. Asher says, "How do you do a pull-up bar?" Ooh, Corvette Garage gave Aiden a sub. That's awesome. Okay, so how do you do a pull-up bar? I hate pull-up bars, and I rarely do them. But the best way to work your way into it is be comfortable just throwing bar spins, okay? Be able to just drop your hand back, throw the bar catch. So when you're just hanging out at the park, at the street, and you're not actively riding, just throw bars and get comfortable. Like, you want to be able to do it with your eyes closed, upside down, whatever. You got to be really comfortable with that, so that when you go to do pull-up bars, you're not worried about that part of it. Then the best thing to do is take your back foot off, put it on the back peg, and pinch your seat with your knees, okay? So you're pinching your seat with your knees, your foot's on the back peg, and then you can just shift your body weight like this. And since the weight's on the back peg, it pops the front wheel up a lot easier. And when that front wheel pops up, you'll feel like a lag time where you're kind of just chilling there. You're not going down, you're not going up, you're just chilling there. And that's when you throw the bars. Just throw it real quick, and then boom, you're good. That's just something, really work on it a lot, okay? Mason says, tips on bar spins. I'd really have to see where you're at with it, Mason, just because some people have a lot of different problems. And it's not the same for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I had trouble getting my getting my throwing hand back on. I had a really hard time with that. But then I have some friends who have a hard time like actually throwing it. Some people are just, there's a lot of different things. And if you want to do that, like, I'll run through a couple advice things, but I don't know where you're at with it. So that makes it hard. This is a thing that I started doing. I have a few people that I'm technically coaching, but they send me videos of them trying tricks. I just put it in the chat. So you could send videos of you trying tricks. You could send questions, whatever it is. It's like a text message, right? And so I have notifications on, I reply. And usually, like, I have a bunch of videos on my computer of me doing the tricks or slow motion, whatever, that I can reply. I can record it and then talk about it and send it to them and say, "Hey, look, this is what you're doing, right? This is what I'm doing. So work on this." And that's been really cool to see them progress, like go from, tapping the 360 to doing a full 360, things like that. It's super cool. You can sign up. It's like expensive-ish. It's not really expensive, but I've got so many projects I'm working on, and I want to be able to help you guys out with like one-on-one time, but I have so much going on, so it has to be worth my time. You know what I mean? Regardless, you guys you can spend the time, you can learn off different YouTubes, like you'll be able to progress regardless. But if you want me to help you out, that's how you get real personal coaching. Okay. Real quick, best thing about bars, like I said, with pull-up bars, get used to just throwing the bars. Okay. Eyes closed, everything. You need to be able to throw, catch. A couple things, make sure that if you're right foot forward, you're throwing with your right hand. If you're left foot forward, you're throwing with your left hand. I just realized the screen's probably flip-flopped on you, but either way, right foot forward, right hand. Because if you're flipped around, and you throw with the opposite hand, your bike does this. It dips to the side that you're throwing. And this just makes it really hard. You have to pinch your knees a lot harder. It's not very fun. So I really stress, if you're just learning it and you're doing it the wrong way, goofy footed, fix it and work on it the right way. It's going to help you out in the long run. So do that. Those are a couple big tips for you. The last big tip is make sure you're pinching your knees, because even if you throw it normal and you're not pinching your knees, your bike's going to dip a little, and it makes the bars spin off axis. Okay. So like this, if this is your bars normally, I don't know how to hold it, but normally they're going to spin normal. Okay. Now, if your bike dips, they drop down like this, and like the way, is it centrifugal force? I don't know. One of those two. The way the centrifugal force works, it throws the weight in a different direction. It's going to make bars a lot harder. So by pinching your knees, you're keeping it completely flat, and you're throwing it, everything's staying level just like it should be. That's really the best tip. The last thing is just commit, because if you're not committing, you're throwing it, but you're taking your foot off. You're throwing it, but you're catching, but you're not really trying to put this hand on. Like, commitment in the sport, there's this different psychology about it, where you need to like be able to visualize yourself landing it and play it out in your head. And then when you go to try it, like, you're playing off that memory. It really helps you out a lot. But yeah, just commit. That's the second biggest thing I can do. Asher says, I am in bike school. Yeah, I remember putting you on my little list. As we get more information, Asher, we are working, my friend and I, you can probably see it on my whiteboard. We have to do, have 3 videos edited by Monday, and then we're pretty much doing 5 a week each. So that's 10 a week between the two. And then I'm going to go back out there. We're going to work on some more stuff to export everything, get it perfect. We're going to have like when I say what your hands are doing, like, we're going to have lines on there that show what your body's doing, just so you can really understand. It's going to be so helpful, but it's taking us a lot of time to get it done. Mason says, I've been trying to pull up bar, but I can't seem to get them smoothly. We talked a lot about pull-up bars. So I'm going to read what Marvin says, because again, this is so cool that you guys all help each other out. Like, I know Asher, Aiden, and Lucas are all kind of homies now just from hanging out in the lives. And this is so cool to me. So now this is what Marvin says about pull-up bars, which is really good because some people do things differently. So Marvin says, put your back wheel against a wall. Hold your front wheel up while standing on the ground and throw your bars. That's what worked for me. Yeah, so that's like what I was talking about with throwing your bars. Get real comfortable with that. Mason's really comfortable with the motion, but when he goes to send it, the bike gets away from you. If that's your problem, Mason, get your chest all the time when you're riding your bike. All the time, your chest is over the bars. So your knees are pinched, your hips are back over the back tire, over the seat, but your chest has to be leaning forward over top of those bars, because wherever your chest is, that's really controlling a lot. So try that. That should help you out a lot. Oh man. It moved down on me. Okay. Asher says, do you have a cassette or a free coaster? The Soundwave has a free coaster. If you're asking me, Asher, I ride a cassette. I rode the BSD Planetary for a while, and that is definitely something I would get, because it's like a free coaster, like a cassette mixed together. I hate the slack on a free coaster. I hate going to pedal and not having that instant engagement. Have you hit your knee yet, Asher? That's a big problem with people on free coasters. So Marvin says, keep your weight above the bike. Be centered. Yes, that's what I said. Good job, Marvin. All right. Mason says, every bike company is sold out. Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to a friend about that, and it's more like China's having a hard time, or Taiwan, wherever they're getting the bikes from, is having a lot harder time getting out product, because they have to like lower the amount of people in the factories and all this stuff. So BMX is definitely suffering. I thought it was because it was really popular and like everyone's buying stuff, but that's a little bit of it, but not necessarily the whole story. Yeah, Aiden said he filled out your name and email at the BMX school website. Yeah, you just press submit. All that does, Aiden, it's not going to charge you or anything. All it does is it sends me your information. So I put you on a list. There's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 people right now who are interested in that, trying to get more information as it comes out. So it's not going to be free when we launch it. We're going to do a really cheap for the first few people that have showed interest early on. We'll do like a special deal, and then as it gets more like we pump money into ads and stuff like that, it'll get more expensive. But to submit your email and get updates on it, Aiden, which is what you're doing, it's completely free. Asher got the last sound wave on source. Enloath said message retracted. Gabriel Gaming says hi. What's up, Gabriel? Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Corvette Garage, glad your channel is progressing. I remember a while back, my first comment was that I couldn't believe you only had 300 subs. Look at you now. Yeah, isn't that crazy? When I was under 1,000, I had a lot of comments like that. Like, wow, this is so underrated. This channel needs more subs. And I knew it would come as I started working on it. So it's been fun. Like, it's cool to see all these people who have been with me from the beginning. Like, we were talking, I remember Aiden, I was like, yo, we're almost at 1K, guys. Like, this is sick. And now it's like, yo, we're almost at 3K, guys. It's the same thing. It's super fun. As long as I'm able to provide value for you guys, like, my mission's accomplished. We're at 19 likes right now, and it's bugging me. So if anyone's watching that hasn't liked, just like it, make it 20 so my OCD can calm down, okay? Thank you. That would be sick. Crypto says, what is up? Oh, wait, I skipped. Crypto, we're coming back to you. But Sean, oh, look, we're at 21. Good job, guys. Now my OCD is going extra. I hate odd numbers. They're the worst. Anyway, how do you balance on a BMX bike? Sean, I'm not sure what aspect you're having trouble with there on the balance. The best thing, I think, is if you're just having trouble with it, like, get used to it, man. Like, there's a thing in this book called Outliers, and it talks about 10,000 hours to become pro at something, right? And so if you think about that, it's, what is it? 5 years, I think, of constant practice, like 6 or 7 hours a day for 5 years gets you 10,000 hours. And that's what it takes to be considered a pro or an expert at a topic, at a sport, whatever. And so if you want to be able to ride at those pro level, like, you got to think about, they've spent so much time on the bike, whether it just be standing, whether it be jumping, whatever. Like, Logan Martin can be on the bike, close his eyes, ride around and just know, like, probably even hot bar, because it's that muscle memory is just pounded in your head. So if you're having trouble with balance, with riding, whatever, instead of not doing it, like, just get on it, suck at it for a little bit, and keep getting better. That's just how it works. You're going to crash, you're going to fall, you're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to feel like an idiot at the skate park when there's guys there that are better than you. Like, trust me, I've been there. I've been to a lot of different skate parks, and it's an uncomfortable feeling, definitely. But if you kind of watch it and, like, you just keep practicing with different things, you're going to get a lot better. That's my best advice. That was, like, really good advice, actually. So, all right. Wait, I had to go to somebody else's thing. Oh, crypto. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Dang. What is up? Thank you. Now, Jelly says, is the Sunday forecaster good? Yes, I'm going to say it is. It's not the best. So to me, the Sunday X is my favorite Sunday bike, just because it's at that $500 price point. It's full chromoly. It has a double wall back rim. So that's definitely my favorite. Now the Sunday forecaster is going to be a little bit cheaper, and it's right at that $500 price point. What's really cool about it is it has different top tube options and different color options. So if that's what you're looking for, more so than quality, it's a good bike to go with. But if you're looking for a better quality bike, like if you plan to ride at a mid-level, check out the Funday X, or go crazy like Asher and get the Funday Soundwave. That's a really expensive, really pro-level quality bike. But for the most part, for a beginner, the Funday Forecaster is a perfectly fine bike. Sean, mountain bikes. Yeah, so with the mountain bike, you have a lot bigger wheels. You have different, like, the balance is just a whole different thing. So like I said, just keep riding, keep progressing, and practice. Like, work on those 10,000 hours, guys. Work on that. That should be your goal. You're like, all right, today I rode for 2 hours. Only 9,998 hours left before I'm a pro. And yeah, so Mason says if you're looking at the Forecaster, just get the X. Like I said, that couldn't have said it better. The X is just better quality for not much of a price difference. You guys know how hard it is to talk for 50 minutes straight without water? I still have my food, but last time I took a bite and I was trying to talk and I was like, they don't want to see me choke on carrots. So I'll eat my food later. Almost done. I'm gonna end right at an hour. So get those questions in. I see they're starting to slow down. It's funny, right at an hour, YouTube like shows my live to a lot more people, and a lot more people come in, and I'm like, peace out, gotta go. Been talking too long. All right. Aiden says somebody should be sponsored. I don't know who he's talking about, but somebody should be sponsored, Aiden. I agree with you, but we will see. Let me know in the comment who should be sponsored, and then I might change my mind. You bought a We the People Pathfinder frame. Bypaths bought a We the People Pathfinder frame. I'm gonna look at it. I think I just reviewed it. Oh, I have. It's Prattenberg's, right? Yeah, I just did a review on my website actually, so I'll pop it in there. You can see what I said about it. But it is a good frame, definitely. It's funny because it's been my thing. Every morning after I wake up and go to the gym, I write a frame review because I've got most complete bike reviews done on my website. So now I'm working on frame, cranks, forks, everything like that. But yeah, we just did the Pathfinder frame. There's an ad on my website of those. You guys know those onesies with the butt flap? That's funny. Weird. After Christmas, like the ads should start to slow down. But it's crazy from this website. Like normally, just a month ago, I was making like cents per day from ads on there, and then now in this month it was like dollars per day. So it was really cool. I was like, yo, this is good. So people are shopping for bikes for their kids, for themselves, whatever. But that link I just said, that's the Pathfinder review. So yeah, I said it's really good though. Oh God. I thought I was almost caught up. I'm not almost caught up. All right. How do you balance? We got that. Okay. Here we go. We're caught up. Oh, if it's We the People, then it's probably good. I'm going to touch on that real quick. Like reviewing the We the People frames was really interesting because they use hydroforming. And it's basically like where the frames weld together, it's bigger at one point. And it's like the way they press it together and weld it, it makes it a lot stronger, but then it also makes it a little bit lighter because they don't have to use hold on. Makes it a lot lighter because they don't have to use the gussets. The gussets are those metal things that go on the tubes, and they don't have to use those gussets, so they're able to keep it lighter with the same quality. So that's pretty cool. We the People, I'm super impressed with. As I review their stuff, I'm like, wow. Like one of the frames, it might have been the Pathfinder. It had the chainstay. The bottom of the chainstay was thicker and then the bottom of the bottom bracket was thicker. And this is so that when you grind, when you do crooked grinds, whatever, and your frame takes all that abuse, that thickness keeps it from bending. It just keeps it a lot better. And like, you guys tell me what companies like thinking of things like that. Nobody. So yeah, We the People is super solid. Deglin says, I'm 11. What's the best bike size for me? The best, what's your size? Go off your height, like feet and inches. That's the best way to tell, because age in BMX, age doesn't really matter. Like, to a certain extent, it does. When you consider if you're still growing or if you're done growing, you know what I mean? But yeah, type in your height. I'll let you know. Asher probably helped him out. Let's see. Gio says, can you say happy birthday to my cousin Fabian? Sure. Happy birthday, cousin Fabian. If you send me his Instagram, Gio, do you follow me on Instagram? At DougsterBob. Okay. Message me on here. Okay. Like, it's not even loading. DougsterBob. And message me his Instagram. I'll follow him and I'll tell him happy birthday. And I'll follow you too, Gio. So there you go. Just go over, do that. Any of you guys watching, I'll follow you back if you follow me. But Asher says 20.75. I definitely think it's going to, like, the smaller size, the better. And that's because when you're growing, when you're learning BMX, it's best, in my opinion, to be able to really control the bike. It's pretty hard to start doing different things if you can't control the bike. So I do think, I don't know, we'll figure out from the height, and then we'll go from there. No, Aiden, nothing's going to make you pay money. You're fine. I see the email right here. Aiden Hemmings, your email address. And so now I just take your email address. I put it in this database thing that I use. And when more information comes out about it, you'll get the email with different updates. Like, it'll say, hey, we just finished a video about how to tail whip. You know what I mean? So you're fine. Hector David says, I'm doing this rebuild on my Cult OS V3. Is 500 enough? I'm not sure what all are you trying to replace. I think generally, if you go all out with like wheels and different quality parts, not considering the frame, you could probably spend, I don't know, 800 to 900 on just like parts, bars, wheels, cranks, rims, tires, spokes, spindles, chains, sprocket, like all that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it adds up pretty quick. But if you're trying to do it like on a budget, you could get by with 500, I think. You just might have to skip out on a few different things. It said, Deglin, if you put in your height, type it out different or something, because it said message retracted. Is it? I'm not sure, honestly. There's a lot of like people who are probably in their 30s, like, you know, a little bit older than me, who, there's a whole side of BMX where it's collectors and it's like vintage, rare type stuff. And they like to collect it. They like to have it. And I don't know anything about it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, we could Google it. Let's see, 2007. Looks like a pretty sick bike. It's a dirt jump bike. Oh, this is cool. BMX Museum has like so many different old bikes, like a 1978 Huffy bike. That's crazy. Bypass is 16 and 6 feet. That's crazy. Isaac is back. Isaac, we were just talking about you. If you had Isaac, if you had Burger King, you are safe. If you ate anything else other than Burger King, you're getting put in timeout. So careful. Yes, and Loath knows. You need to know. Bypath eats lots of veggies and protein to get 6 feet. That's funny. ATV AU says 4 hours a day is too much enthusiasm for one sport. It depends. We just hit 1 hour. I'm gonna keep going for you guys, but and start to trying to get caught up and get out of here. Okay. So 4 hours a day, in my opinion, if you don't have anything else going on and you're really trying to do something with the sport, like 4 to 6 hours a day is enough, if not more. Like uh it's a good comparison to look at professional piano players. It's a different thing. It's not as much physical energy, but it's an art, right? And so is riding your bike. Like the way different riders make it look so flawless, so flowy. It's it's an art. So you just need to be doing it a lot. You need to be comfortable. And hold on, I'm gonna type this professional. It's probably around 4 hours, but let's see. So most professional pianists play around 3 to 4 hours a day, though they may have had to practice as much as 8 hours a day to get to their current skill level. And I genuinely 200% believe it's the same with BMX. When you're starting out, 8 hours a day is going to kill you, but you're going to be forming really important muscles that your body's not used to. Like my hips are off because of constantly standing on my bike with one foot in front of the other. Every time I go to the chiropractor, they straighten out one of my legs because it's compressed. And like that's just what happens when you spend so much time on the bike. So I think 4 hours is fine. You'll get used to it. It's like a week. You'll be in pain. You'll be sore. You keep going. You'll be okay. You'll start to get better. And that's what it takes. It's insane, but it's important. ATVAU bought a Sunday X. Good choice. Haze Freak. I want to buy the We the People Crisis. Are there better bikes for less money? Just like Aiden said, the Cult Devotion is 500 and it's good. The We the People Crisis is a really good bike. In my opinion, it's just a little bit overpriced. It's a mid to high level quality bike, but it does have a lot more aftermarket parts than most of the other complete mid-level bikes. So it just depends on what you're looking for. The other thing, though, is the Crisis has a 12.75 chainstay. The Devotion has a 13.6. So the Crisis is going to be a lot more responsive, a lot more snappy. The Devotion is going to be a lot more mellow. It has a bigger top tube. The Crisis has a 20.5 option. So you have to consider all that stuff when you get a bike, because quality is one thing, but the way the bike feels when you ride it is like, it's a whole different thing that nobody helps you out with that. I just spilled water. Aiden started learning piano the other day. Asher plays bass. Yo, we could get a couple more people, somebody to play drums. You guys could have a band. That would be sick. ATVAU says, what do you think of Adam LZ? I don't know. I respect LZ for building what he did. He did really good building a brand, building a business. Like, I respect that so much. I never really liked his attitude, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like all the crazy hype videos. I'm not about that. So I didn't like that. And his content wasn't really made for me. It was made for beginner riders, newer riders. So I respect the man. He's done really good. And I don't think he quit BMX. Here's the thing. There's a thing where anyone in BMX who makes it, who figures out how to make a full-time living from BMX, make a lot of money, they get pushed out. It's not that they leave the sport, it's that they get pushed out. For whatever reason, the general core of BMX doesn't think that it should be monetized. They don't think that you should make money off the sport. They think that you should Do it because you love it, and that's it. And it's a big problem. So you look at like Nigel Sylvester, right? Tons of money, made so much money in the sport, and oh, he's a sellout. Oh, like hate this guy. And so he moves away from BMX and starts doing more deals with GoPro, stuff like that. And same with Adam LZ, right? He built up a huge following, which is really hard, which no brand, right? To this day, BMX brand has been able to build the same. And so Stranger says, hey, let's jump, pay this kid. He's not that good. Like he's not pro level on a bike, but he has a huge following. And so they did that. And then there's just a lot of conflict. They said, hey, he doesn't deserve this, blah, blah, blah. So it's a thing where they get pushed out of the sport. I don't think he quit bikes. I think the car community was a lot more open to him, a lot more, you know, respectful in a sense. And it's definitely a better move. Like if everyone hated me in BMX, I wouldn't stick around to do it. Like I'd still do it because I love it. And I'm sure he does. I'm sure he goes to the park sometimes, but it's not his main thing. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of my take on the whole thing. Corvette Garage says the kink switch is the best bang for your buck. That is 100% true. I think that's a really good bike. It's my favorite bike this year. Kink switch, hands down, the best bike. Oh my gosh. There's so many comments right now. Where am I even at? No, Hector, I'm seeing all the comments, but look, oh my God, I'm so far. The bar's like here and the chat's happening down here. Like I'm so far behind on comments. So this is really cool. You guys are awesome. I might just go all night. I don't know. No, I need to work on that Shopify store I told you guys about. Look, I'm going to send it in here. It's password protected, but you guys can have it and like check it out. If I can't remember the password, hold on. Let me see what it looks like. Coming soon. I just spent $200 on a theme, but the theme does everything I want it to do. So, all right, that's going to be the store. Well, hold up. Yeah. So you guys keep checking back to that, and you'll see a bunch of different things coming soon. Working on it a lot. I'm super hyped. I'm going to quit sleeping. I'm going to get it done. All right. Why would he stop BMXing after sponsored by Stranger? We touched on that. Hector says, hey, I feel like he's only seeing the blue guys comments. Asher says, no, I see yours. Is Sunday number one or volume? I definitely think as a brand, Sunday's a lot better just because they focus on complete bikes, really high quality American made frames, aftermarket parts. They have warranties. Sunday, I think, is way better. Hector, I don't know what question you're talking about. So, it's probably the question I just answered. I mean, to me, I just answered it. To you, it's way down in the comments. Anyway, Diglin, I was excited for this reply. Oh, and I'm reading Corvettes. I'm going to read that in a second. I'm really excited to read that. Deglin says he's 4'10". So here's what we're going to do. We're going to type in BMX size guide on the Google. It's going to take us to a lot of options. We're going to go to dougsterbob.com because obviously that's the best one. I'm going to post it in here for you guys to check out if you guys are curious what frame size you need. But then look, all you do is you just click on here. I'm going to post it in here so you can follow along. Right? All you do is click on your size. Here's the thing, 4'10" to 5'3". I would pick that one because if you get a 19.75 inch top tube, it's going to feel easier to maneuver. It'll be really responsive and snappy. If you get a 20 inch, it's going to balance stability and responsiveness. If you get a 20.25 inch, it's going to feel really good when going high and fast. It's best for flowy park riders and dirt riders. So that's everything you need. Now, real quick though, if you're growing really fast, move up a size. Oh God, I hiccup. If you're growing really fast, move up a size, okay? Don't get a 20 inch, get a 20.25, get a 20.5, just so you can still grow into that bike and it's not a complete waste. But don't go so far up to where you struggle with the bike. Like right now at 4'10", if you got a 21 inch bike, you would have a really, really hard time doing anything on that bike. Now you might grow to 6 feet and it might be perfect for you. But while you're growing, it's not going to help you out very much at all. Okay. Bypath, bottom bracket, chainstay are thicker. Yes. Okay. Corvette garage. Hydroforming has been used by General Motors for years now. I was surprised no bike manufacturer used it previously. My We the People network frame is built like a beast. Yeah, okay, good to know. I had to do some research on it when I was doing the bike review. I was like, what is hydroforming? And so that's good to know that. See, they look at different things and they kind of take from it. There was one other thing I saw that well, like Sunday does internal gussets. So instead of putting the gussets on the outside, they put gussets on the inside to make it a lot cleaner. But it's cool when different bike companies do stuff. Skylar, yo, I'm so late. Yeah, you are. I'm trying to be done, but there's so many questions. Merry Christmas to you guys. I'm going to keep answering all the questions and we'll keep going. So that's fun. Isaac has a We the People tech deck bike. That's pretty sick, actually. When I was in high school, I got tech decks just because I was like, I don't want to sit here. I want to play with this bike. So that's what I did. Tech decks are a lot of fun. Bypass said you should probably wait to buy a good bike if you're only 11 because you'll need a new one in like 3 years because you'll grow a foot. I'd almost agree with that, but I'd change it to like needing one in a year. In my opinion, if you guys are riding, like right now, you guys are able to progress a lot faster than riders used to be. Like if you actually start working out, if you take different advice from different riders, if you watch different how-to videos, you could progress really fast. And if you get a beginner level bike and get to a mid-level of riding, that bike isn't going to last you very long at all. Like I'd say a year. Out of most bikes, if you can get a full year without parts breaking, you've done really good. That's my opinion. I know they shoot for about 2 to 3 years, but today's day and age, kids eat their green beans and they're animals. So it just happens, you know? ATVAU says, great site. Hey, thanks, man. This website has been my baby for 2 years. I've quit a lot of things that I had going for me to pursue this little dream of mine. And it's been tough, but everything's kind of starting to work out. So chase your dreams, kids. You never know what can happen. Is he live somewhere else? Hector's struggling with all these comments. If you have I'm reading all these, I'm just way behind. You know what I mean? I've said that a couple times. All right. Aiden says, okay. Thank you, Aiden. That's why you have the blue wrench. Got my back. Appreciate it. The chat's not delayed, but I started this live 16 minutes late. So there's 16 minutes worth of comments when I got into it. So I was replying to those and they just kept going. You guys are super cool. 5'9", 21-inch top tube, good. I think it's good. I ride a 21-inch top tube and I'm 6'4", super tall, I know. But I like to be taller and be able to really flick my bike around and have a lot of control over it. So for you, it's going to feel really controlled and really stable, but you might have a harder time. If you want to learn 720s eventually, you might want a smaller frame. Kink Whip, hands down. I think the Kink Liberty is pretty similar to the Kink Whip. The only difference is this year they didn't do the Kink Liberty. The 2021 is only a Kink. Wait, the Kink Liberty is only a 2020 option. I don't think there's a 2021 option. Aiden went to grab some goldfish. Asher says the Liberty. I don't know. I think the Whip is better. I love the Whip. But all right, Asher grabbed goldfish. Yeah. Okay, here. The main difference, I think, is the Liberty's more of a street bike, the Whip's more of a park bike. And they didn't do the Liberty this year because they added the Switch, which is a higher level version of the Liberty, and it's a little more expensive. But the specs on the Liberty is almost identical to the Switch. So yeah. Anyway, Trey Jones is a huge collector. Good to know. Oh, Bypass says 500 is barely anything. I spent 500 Canadian on my frame. Yikes. I gotta look it up. 500 Canadian to USD. Yeah, you guys, your money's expensive, isn't it? I don't know. Um, Bypass dad has a 1983 Diamondback Silver Streak. Is it worth anything? Uh, I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, Aiden's dog's trying to steal a goldfish. Tell him to stop. He's trying to look. All right, I think we're about done with all the questions. Lucas, we were talking about you. That's funny. Um, that's good. Glad you're here, Lucas. You definitely missed it. If you have an hour this week, you're gonna have to sit down, watch through. There was lots of good advice, lots of people talking about you. So yeah, Aiden, I talked about like talking about bike school. I shouldn't have done that, but I don't know. I like you guys, so I just keep talking about stuff, and we'll see what happens. Talking about my store, shouldn't have done that, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Don't tell anybody, guys. I trust you. You guys are here since the beginning, so I'm gonna be transparent with you. Tell you what I'm working on. Lucas, what did you have for dinner? Isaac never told us what he had. So he hasn't been put in timeout yet, but we'll see. Let's see. He's a year behind on the comment. Yeah, Hector. Eventually, these lives are gonna get. I guarantee it. You know, if you guys watch bigger lives, they answered questions like the best of their ability, but the questions that people pay money for, those are the ones that get answered. And I think in a year, this live's gonna be like that. So that'd be kind of fun. But I'm trying to answer all these questions, and it's just so much. Aiden got 100 subs thanks to me and the people in the chat. Good job. Asher's at 29. Asher, keep up the videos. You will be at 100 soon. I'll shout you out every time you're on this live, okay? Lucas is under 10. Guys, go subscribe to Asher and Lucas. Asher, Aiden, and Lucas, they're all like three homies that just kind of hang out lives. And I guarantee it, what I want from you guys, Asher, Aiden, and Lucas, is just post every week what tricks you're working on. Like, hey, I'm trying 180s today, and like post some 180 attempts. And then in 3 weeks from then, you'll be like, hey, I finally landed like really good 180s. And that'll be so cool to watch in 5 years, because you'll be able to look back and be like, dang, I was just doing 180s and now I'm doing 3 whips. Like, Gary Vee talks so much about document and not create. So don't really create content, but document what you're working on so people can follow your progression. Like me, I'm genuinely interested in watching you guys do that and progress so that I can kind of feel like I'm progressing with you. You guys should post that stuff. Everyone's going to subscribe to you. And look, I just went to the bottom of the chat. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Guys, it'll take me all day to answer all of these. Enload gave Lucas a sub. What we doing? Asking questions? Yeah, Steve, if you have any questions, ask them. I was 16 minutes late, so now I'm 16 minutes over. I think that's pretty fair, but I'm going to keep going. You're breaking myself while searching for a new bike, Mateo. That is no fun. I'm going to send you what a lot of people use from me. It's one of the best things I think about my website. There's a free BMX recommendation. It's just a little form. You fill out the form. It goes to my email address. I look at the stuff you enter, and then I say, hey, like, here's a PDF. I make a PDF for you with 3 bikes that I think would be perfect for you. I just put that in the chat. If you're also shopping for a bike, fill that form out so I can help you get into the sport. It takes up so much of my time, but watching the sport grow, watching you guys hang out with me and progress is like, it's the reward, it's the dream. I love it. X Sunday has ridges on the down tube. Yeah, probably. They have like that, what do they call it? Downwave, down tube or whatever. It keeps the frame from bending. So that's pretty cool. Lucas had pancakes. I like pancakes. I had a cheese, what? Oh, cheese tray. I thought you were talking about cheese spray. That's funny. Okay. How does We the People's lifetime warranty work? So Bypass, the way the warranty works, from my understanding, now this is all speculation, but I'm pretty sure that the warranty is, you notice they say lifetime guarantee. So it's not a warranty. It's a guarantee. So they guarantee that there's no frame defects, no frame malfunctions, and different things like that. You'd really have to look into it to see exactly what it covers, but they're kind of smart about that in the sense that, like, if you throw your bike off of a cliff, they're not going to warranty it. They're going to be like, why'd you throw it off? Why'd you throw it off a cliff? You know? So now if you're riding and like the middle of the down tube just snaps, they'll be like, okay, that's defective metal, you know? So there's a difference there. Why does my rear wheel spokes keep getting loose? Sometimes when they build wheels, they'll put grease on the nipples and they just kind of unscrew, and you'll just keep checking on them. Get a handy spoke wrench. Don't go crazy when you do it. When you tighten your spokes, go all the way around. Make sure you hit all of them and only do like half a turn on each spoke, half a turn all the way around. Because if you go like 4 or 5 turns, generally this spoke isn't that loose. This one's loose. So when you go and you're tightening this one, it's pulling the tension up towards it. Your spoke pops through and it pokes your tube. So just go around the whole wheel with half a turn and then recheck it. Don't just like crank one down with a bunch of turns. That's how you're getting pinched flats. So don't do that. Asher, Lucas says, you got to go. Aiden says, I got to go. Everyone's leaving. Lucas left. Aiden left. You guys are so funny. Is the X for just cruising around, attempting wheelies, cruising bowls? I think the X is mostly for street riding and light park riding. If you want to progress, you want to learn tricks, the X is a good move. If you just want to cruise, honestly, any bike shop's going to tell you to get the most expensive bike. That's not true. If you don't want to learn backflips and triple tail whips, you don't need a $700 bike. If you just want to cruise, hang out at the park, like do some basic tricks, you can get a $300 bike and get the same effect. Okay. So like, I'm not going to try and rip you off till you buy a really expensive bike. If you're just trying to cruise, do some wheelies, the X is too expensive for you. Like, you could buy it. Don't get me wrong, buy the bike, but you don't need to. Okay. How good is the Sabrosa flight park frame? I genuinely do not know. I haven't looked into any of aftermarket Sabrosa parts. I know Sparky's changed their whole website around, and I was using it to try and get information on the bike lines, and they were under maintenance. So I haven't been on there in at least a month, so I'm not sure. Aiden has to go, but he doesn't want to, so he's going to stay. Marvin, peace out, Marvin. I will try and shout you out in one of the next videos. Aiden, what are you having for dinner? ATVAU says, do BMXers just BMX or play a sport? Yeah, it really depends. I played baseball, I played soccer, I played basketball, I played football. I got into bikes. I said, I don't want to play any of these sports. I just want to focus on bikes. It was really hard to try and have time to ride bikes, do sports, you know, so I picked BMX. Now, some people are able to do both. Some people pick one or the other. But usually BMX is life. Yeah, scooter. It's a lot of, I think a lot of BMXers get into scooter, get into skateboard, just because it's more of the skate park vibe where you're on your own, like your progression depends on yourself. To us, that's so much more appealing than having to play sports. You know what I mean? That's what it was for me. I hated that if I went to football practice and I tried my absolute best, that there could be people on the team who just kind of slack off, and it ruins it for everybody. So for me, I was like, I could ride my bike, I could put in 110%, and whatever I get out of it is what I put into it. That's why it was so appealing to me. Asher mows lawns in the summer. That's how he's got all that money. Jared, yo, what's up, Jared? You made it just in time, just because I'm staying a little extra as a Merry Christmas present to you guys. I see a lot of young riders on the hardtail mountain bike. So that's funny that you say that because Nick, the guy that is working, Nick and I are working on a project together, and that's what he rides. He rode a pink BMX bike when we were sponsored by the same clothing company, and then he started riding a hardtail mountain bike, and I think it's really how he was able to switch over to that and go in a whole different direction with the sport. It was really cool. And I want to get a mountain bike just to try and play around on, but it's definitely a lot. I don't know. I think it's more popular than BMX, honestly. So I just posted one of Nick's how to backflip videos in there. If any of you guys are trying to learn how to backflip, he does really good teaching things. Like he's really good at it, and you can watch him on his big bike. It's crazy to me. Aiden's talking about his dog trying to eat goldfish. Jared says, PA is killing me. I want to ride so bad, but there's snow everywhere. Jared, it's like, it gets up in the 50s where I'm at. So it's pretty nice. I was able to ride yesterday. Right now, I think it's 40. Oh, it's, yeah, 46 degrees. No snow, no rain. Sometimes it's windy, but that's okay. So I hope you could try. And when I wasn't able to ride, what I like to do was play like BMX video games. So you could play, what is it, BMX Pipe. Matt Hoffman Action Sports 2 is always a banger. And just play with that. Like stay in the sport, keep your brain smart. Aiden made $30 off something. Oh my God. Why am I so far behind? All right, I'm gonna read through the I'm catching up. Jared says Doug is gonna blow up. I hope my YouTube blows up. I hope I don't actually blow up, but we'll see. You guys are so awesome. This is what it's all about. You guys are awesome. I hope you keep riding. I hope I'm able to help you guys out. ATVAU, is there any magazines for BMX? There used to be Ride, but they sold to our BMX now. They quit the BMX thing. I don't think there are any magazines. Everything is going digital, especially for BMX. Yeah, the free BMX recommendation is, at first it was auto typed, right? And I got, I don't know, 80 in a month. And I was like, all right, it took me half an hour, right? This is crazy. 80 times 30 divided by 60. So it would have been 40 hours for me to make all these. And so what I did is I spent, a couple hundred hours creating a system that gets perfect. So there's different categories that it puts you in. There's a bunch of different outcomes. It's like a whole algorithm, and it gets you 3 bikes. And what I like to do is when I see every single email, I see every single submission. So I look over it to make it actually a good one, a good fit. If it's not, I'll type it out myself. And like, instead of doing, 80 a week like that, there's only 5 or 6 that require like a special thing. And I definitely jump on those and type it out when I have to. But when I don't, it saves me so much time, and it still gets you guys a solid recommendation. And I go in there and I change it so often when different things come out or when I notice a different problem. But that's what it is. Completely personalized stuff is only available through that link that I sent earlier, where you pay monthly and you get like my WhatsApp number, and you can ask me anything. You can get tips on tricks and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's what that is. Jared has canned cheese in front of him. Someone unsubscribed from Aiden. Oh my God. That's crazy. Blake says use Loctite on something. So stop commenting. What's the first trick? The first trick, Max the God, the first trick a beginner should learn is how to bunny hop. Just, dude, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop on a curb, bunny hop on a stair, bunny hop over your mom, bunny hop over your dog, bunny hop everything. And just keep practicing on that, okay? I do not ride dirt bikes. I wish. I think they'd be a lot of fun, but I would definitely get hurt. One of my close friends that rides BMX with us a lot, he used to race competitively. He kind of got out of that, started riding bikes with us more, and got back into racing. He just broke his wrist. And I replied to his story, and instead of saying like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I said, "BMX is better." I should have said, "Oh my God, are you okay?" But instead I was just like, "Dude, you shouldn't have quit riding bikes. You should have kept riding bikes, and you wouldn't have a broken wrist." But yeah, that's what I think. Um, is the Kink Gap a good bike? So basically, yes, it has a chromoly front triangle. It's not full chromoly. I classify it on my website as a beginner bike, but it's right there, right before mid-level. So if you are riding at a mid-level or you want to be riding at a mid-level, I do urge you to check out the mid-level bikes on my website. Um, Hold on, I'll type it in real quick so that you can, because this makes it really easy. You can literally just scroll through all these bikes on here, and these are all mid-level bikes. And what I mean by mid-level is full chromoly, double wall rims, and a handful of aftermarket parts. Those are the most important things to keep you rolling as you do mid-level tricks. If you're just starting out, the Kink Gap is a very good bike because it has some extra quality, and you'll be able to progress to mid-level before it starts breaking on you. Okay. SE bikes read 100% from what I've seen. I've only looked at a few. SE bikes are very overpriced. So when I look at one, it's like it's so expensive, and it's only high tensile steel. It only has single walls. Like SE is really banking on Chris Fox and their name and their brand. So they just, I don't think they're as good as I mean, they're a great brand history wise, but the actual bikes are a little overpriced. Um, yeah, okay, but that is a good point. Asher says they're all in 26. So there are 20-inch bikes. The 26-inch bikes are blowing up right now because everyone wants to be a wheelie guy. So for the wheelie side of it, I have no idea. If you want to do like a 20-inch bike for trick, I think they're overpriced. The wheelie bikes, not sure. Naomi, not a question, but can you give my husband a shout out? He's a big fan of yours. His name is Hugo. Sure, Naomi, I would have no problem doing that. If you could, I don't know his information. Like I want to give him a for real shout. Like I could put it on my video, I could put it on Instagram, whatever. If you message me on Instagram or tag me in something of his so that I can find his actual account to like shout it out, that would be awesome. But Hugo, if you watch this, you're awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad I could help you out and teach you some BMX stuff. Like I love this. I love what I do. So yeah, Naomi, give me some more information on my guy Hugo. I'll even follow him and be there to help him out. So Reed is 36, and yeah, so Reed, it's interesting to me because a lot of older guys, they get into the sport again, right? They were good. They were in the sport back in the day. They get out of it, life happens, and they get back in the sport. And there's a lot of like nostalgia. Like I was talking to my mom about this. She was born in 70, and she was telling me that, well, Mongoose, like SE, those bikes were really, really cool. And BMX was really cool. And I was like, that's crazy. So there's a lot of people her age who were in the sport, got out of it, and now are coming back. Like a lot of people. And those brand names are like stuck in their head as a nostalgic thing. And they're still around. So you got to think about it. Like these newer companies have really pivoted and had to do a bunch of different things to survive. And that's why they're cheaper, they're better quality, they're different geometry than you're going to remember. A newer bike is going to be really responsive. It's just going to feel crazy compared to what you're used to. Those older bikes are a lot more mellow, things like that. So if you want to get a new bike because you're at the point financially where you can get your dream bike and get a bike that actually genuinely means something to you, that's a whole different thing than if you're trying to get a bike to progress and learn tricks on. because I did, like, one of the recommendation guys, I read his thing and he said, hey, I used to really want a bike like this back in my day. And I said, okay, well, like, let's find you one, right? Because to me, the feeling you get from riding a bike is the ultimate thing, right? That trumps everything. So if you can find a bike that like makes you feel good, that's the best option, hands down. So if you're looking for something into progressing, one of those newer bikes is going to be fine. SE's overpriced in that aspect. But if you want a bike to like relive, your childhood days or your days on the bike, then the SE is a really good move because you can afford it. And like, I know how good that feels to be able to get something that you've wanted a long time ago. You know what I mean? ATV AU says, has anyone had a BMX stolen? Bro, knock on wood, never. I've never had mine stolen, and I've been so lucky. Like, the window in my car is held up by a little piece of wood because the motor quit. So anyone could go up, like, shake my window, open my car, and take my bike because I leave it in there all the time. But knocking on wood that never happens. I've been super lucky. So that's good. What are some cheap and good pegs? Fiction, maybe? I bet Fiction makes pegs. Mission pegs would be good. Any off-brand bike company. So I'd say Fiction. I'd say Mission. I'd say, what is the? Those are the only two I can think of off top. But like, here's some Fiction. I think these are actually, I won them in a contest, but these are what I'm riding right now, and they're like $10. So there you go. Dance comp. Bro, I've been trying so hard. Jason, the marketing guy, I'm like, yo, Jason, I have this website. I want to sell your products, like affiliate products. Can you work together with me? He won't even answer. He won't even answer my calls. I'm so upset. So the fact that I'm helping them out right here, right? I'm just a nice guy. Oh, well, I don't get anything out of it. It makes me so angry because I could make 2% or 4% of whatever you guys buy from me. I get 0. Oh, well. Rant over. You can't buy good and cheap plastic pegs. That is a good point. In my opinion, pegs are so overpriced. They're just like little slabs of metal that, look, guys, I promise in 10 years, I'll have my own bike company. I'll have my own pad company, and I will not rip you guys off because I'm going to change the way everything does it. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. Eventually, you guys, I won't rip you off, I promise. Because look at this. Oh my God. I'm on Alibaba. So if you guys don't know what Alibaba is, it's a Chinese manufacturing company. You can look up almost anything that you could find. Okay. And they've been making these for people. So look, I just looked up BMX pegs. It says high-grade bicycle part using plastic pegs with steel inside. $3.80. $3.80. Look at this. Right there, Alibaba, $3.80. Now you have to buy 100 minimum. So if I had, $380, I could buy 100 pegs. I could put Dougster Bob on it. My cost is $3. I could sell it for $15. I could make $12 a peg by ripping you guys off. Like, that's not cool, but that's how it is, Granted, you have to pay for different things. Like, I get that. But there's so much, like, being taken out in the middle. It's messed up. Pegs are a ripoff. Long story short. All right. ATVAU bought from Dan's Comp after from my website. Cool. I'm going to let Jason know and say, hey, Jason, like, people buy from, makes me angry. So that's why, guys, I'm starting my own store, because I'm honestly upset with how no company wants to work with me. I'm like, guys, 30,000 people a month, right, on my website getting advice from me. Like, work with me. And they're like, no. And I'm like, whatever, I'll just start my own, right? So a couple years, we'll be just fine. So anyway, rant over. Max says, how long should a BMX bike last? It depends how much your progression. Honestly, it really, really depends. If you're brand new to the sport, you get a beginner level bike, I'm going to say it's going to last you 1 year. Okay. If you've been riding for a year, you're on a mid-level bike, it's going to last you 1 to 2 years. If you're mid-level riding and you get a brand new bike, or if you're mid-level rider, you get a beginner bike, it's going to last you maybe 6 months. That's my opinion, but it just depends on like how crazy you are about your how much you ride, how much you throw your bike, how much you crash, things like that. Jared went back and subbed the little guys. I don't know what you mean, but good deal. I hope you're talking about poor Aiden. Haro has a BMX that broke the axle, and you have to buy the same brand axle. That really depends. And for the most part, most axles are going to be the same. They're going to be interchangeable. But I would call Haro and double check with them and see if you can get a replacement, because that's the best way to go. Okay. I bet Colt pegs are those. Yeah, those on Alibaba, those look like the Colt butter pegs or whatever, don't they? It's a little suspicious, man. A little suspicious. But dude, it trips me out. Like I'll look up different things to see what companies are basically making on their products. And I'm like, oh my God, like this bike's only this much. So let's see. All right, so we're caught up finally on the comments, guys. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. This is a world record live. I've never gone this long, but Merry Christmas to you guys. I wanted to answer all the questions. I'm going to finish up my cold chicken and broccoli. Guys, thank you. Genuinely, thank you so much. This is so fun. I love having you in the lives. I love hanging out with you. I love answering questions, but I love seeing the community that we're building up. Like you guys who are chatting in the comments with each other, that's this sport. I've gone from New Mexico to St. Louis and met a guy there that I met in Denver, right? You're going to meet people all over because of this sport. And like this little tribe that we're building here, this is what it's all about. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Next Friday, let me make sure I don't work or anything. It should be next Friday. I'll post it up here in a couple days. Go over there, get notified. Oh, Friday's New Year's, guys. Let's do Saturday again. It's going to be the 2nd, okay? Friday the 2nd, we are going to do one more live, and then we're going to start 2021 out super strong. I'm excited for you guys. It's going to be a killer year. Don't forget, reach out if you guys have any questions. I'm super busy, but I'll do my best to help, okay? Keep watching Asher, Aiden. God, who else? Who's the other one? Asher, Aiden, and oh no, I forgot the third guy. Anyway, keep watching everyone progress, and thanks for hanging out. All right, hold on. Drew asked a question. It's Merry Christmas. We're going to answer it real quick. Hey, my BMX frame is starting to bend. Should I buy a new frame or ride it till it breaks? Drew, you're talking about the chainstay probably, and it's bending because you're spinning, which there's good news and bad news, okay? Good news, your progression is breaking the frame. That means you're killing it. That means you're doing really good. Keep up the good work. Bad news, you can't unbend it, and it's going to be a pain to keep riding it. Get a new frame. All right. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year. Thanks for being a part of the Dougster Bob community. Have a great day.